Attend the world's best business workshop led by America's #1 business coach for free by subscribing on iTunes and leaving us an objective review. Claim your tickets by emailing us proof that you did it and your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com.
Yes, and yes. Welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we should all rejoice and be glad in it. What does that mean? This is the day that the Lord has made. What does that mean? Well, let me pull up the verse. I want to put this on the show notes. It's Psalm 118. So Psalm 118, verse 24, right? Psalm from the Bible, Psalm 118:24. It says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." Let's try it again. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice in it. We will rejoice and be glad in it. What does that mean? What it means is this is a day that God created. Think about that. God created today. He gave you the air in your lungs. He gave you the ability to hear this audio, to meet with me right now. And I'm totally a person who doesn't believe in like randomness. I do believe in divine appointment. I'm a big believer of like the reason why we're communicating right now is because of an actual intentional, specific thing, a plan, a purpose. So now we're listening, and I'm teaching you the 8 game-changing accounting moves that can help you get into a great spot financially. And you're going to have to decide, do you want to throw away the day God made? You see, if God made the day, God gave the gift, do you want it or do you want to throw it away? And I'm going to give you an example. This is so powerful, and if somebody will get this idea, I think it could be a life changer for you. As a young kid, I remember that my mom and dad really gave me some cool gifts as a kid. So I remember when we got a dog, a boxer. You know, I bought the boxer. I teamed up with my mom and dad to buy this dog. I remember getting a Nintendo. My parents, I saved up money through various scams I had at school. I was making making high-speed copies illegally of cassette tapes, and I was selling those copies of Paula Abdul and Milli Vanilli, and I made enough money to buy a Nintendo game system. There's things I would buy. Well, as a kid, you know, for Christmas, parents sometimes would give you like sweatpants. You know, they give you sweatpants or they give you jeans. And there's a certain kind of jeans. If you remember back in the day, I'm just old school enough to reference this. There's Guess jeans. Now the Guess jeans,
yeah, a little triangle,
a little triangle there on the butt part, you know.
Yeah.
And then there would be like off-brand jeans, like Lee's jeans, not Levi's, but Lee's.
EE.
And then there was like the Nike shoes, and then there was like another kind of shoe. There'd be like a Jordache. And so I stuttered as a kid. I stuttered a lot as a kid. And so, again, I got made fun of a lot. And then you show up at school and you wear the off-brand shoes. Because public schools, which, by the way, I hate all things related to public schools, with exceptions of really great teachers who work there. But the public schools, it's a big competition to see who's got the nicest brands. And so you go to school and they mock you if you don't have the nicest brands, and they mock you if you stutter. Because if you stutter, you have to make if you stutter, it's like the school has decided subconsciously we have to pick on anybody who's less than us. So if somebody is like bigger, they're physically heavier than everybody else, we should make fun of them. If somebody stutters, we should make fun of them. If somebody doesn't have the name brand shoes, we should make fun of them. And so there's this culture of like, let's just pick on the difference. But here's the deal. This is what's crazy. Is that the different people always end up running all the companies, that all of the sheeple, the sheeples that followed the systems, that follow that, they all end up working for us. So it always happens. So everyone I've met who's ever super successful, we're all like, yeah, I remember that too. And you know what? They all work for me. So all the high school like quarterbacks and all the star athletes and all the guys who were the popular guys always fail every time. It's because they're so worried about conformity. But yet, it's the difference makers that succeed. So my mom used to come downstairs and she would tell me, dare to be different. Give me a poster, actually. And I put on my wall, dare to be different. And I hung on to that promise or that thought. And that's the only thing that made me come out of the bathroom when I would cry. Because the kids make fun of me all the time. I just didn't want to be around people. So that's one thing. I just keep going, dare to be different. I'd just sit there and draw all day, reading books, just dare to be different. And, as I've got older, I've tried to shift it from going from bitterness to betterness, But I really am excited about the perpetual poverty of all of the people that have lost that made fun of me. And I am so excited that they lose. But when they usually reach out to me years later and make the apology, I forgive. And I've forgiven in a spiritual sense, but I kind of enjoy sometimes a lot watching them fail because I hear about it and I'm like, this is awesome. Remember how sarcastic and mean and terrible you always were? Remember? This is great. You sowed the seeds of terribleness and you got a harvest of it.
Eat it.
Oh, so I don't know. That's a thought. So as we're talking about these financial tips for teaching, there's kind of a pushback about this next step because it requires time. And we'll put this on the show notes, but according to the New York Post, it published it. And according to Nielsen, it published it. You can find the same stats on Inc. magazine. The average American now watches 5.2 hours of TV per day. And they're on their smartphone for about 2 hours a day being distracted as well. So that's 7.2 hours. But let's put the stats, the Nielsen stats that show the average American is watching 5.2 hours of TV per day, because it'd be very hard to do this part if you're watching TV, which again takes us back to the sheeple conversation. People all the time will pull me aside and they're like, dude, you know that new show that just came out? What do you think about Boom Boom Boom? And I'm going, I don't even know. I don't even know. Or they're like, dude, on the news last night, did you see there's teachers that are walking to Oklahoma City on strike? And I'm like, I don't ever watch TV at all. And if you're not getting paid enough, you should probably quit and become a dog trainer. If you go work at Tip Top if you buy a Tip Top Canine location right now, by the way, if you want to buy a Tip Top Canine franchise or business and you reach out to them, it would cost you about $25,000 maximum to get in business. And if you are the worst dog trainer in the history of the world, you will for sure make $1,000 a week. If you're the worst ever. Now, if you're good, Home Skillet, the guy in Owasso has been open now for 8 weeks.
Yeah, 2 months.
2 months. And he's brought in $44,000 of revenue. And that consists of him training a dog. There are systems in place. And dogs terrorize families so much. They eat all your shoes. And when you buy that cute puppy and it becomes a monster, begins eating your everything, you say, okay, I'll pay to get the dog trained. So Tip Top Canine does a no-brainer where it's $1 to train the dog one time. And then they have affordable options you can choose from. And this guy's good. So, I hear about teachers, walking to Oklahoma City to protest. And I would just say, if you're a teacher, just quit. Quit, not quit protesting, just quit your job. Give up on it. That train's left. As a culture, we don't value teachers, or we would pay them more, right? Or maybe we have a top-heavy administration. Maybe we have a jacked-up pay system, but it's not going to be changed. I'm just trying to tell you. It's not going to fix. You're never going to find teachers making a lot of money, You're not going to do that. Now, colleges, they pay their teachers a lot of money. Now, colleges do. You know why? Because it's expensive to go there. It's like $40,000 a year to go to the University of Tulsa right now. If you go to University, look up how much does it cost per year to go to the University of Tulsa right now. Because if you go to the University of Tulsa, it's like, I think I don't want to make up a number here. I want to get it on the show notes. I want to get the actual number here from because University of Tulsa, to go to that school, I believe it's over $35,000 a year. Chuck, how much does it cost to go to the University of Tulsa right now? It
says full-time basis student 2016-2017, $58,000.
What?
Regardless of their residency.
You know what? There's a song that I want to put on the show notes. It's called Arab Money. Arab Money. It's written by Busta Rhymes. He's like, oh yeah, we getting Arab money. Oh, we getting Arab money. Yeah. We getting Arab money. Whoa, we getting Arab money. We getting Arab money. And the whole song is about how much money he has. It's amazing. But I'm saying that's Arab money. Every kid's paying $52,000.
58.
So let's just say this is an idea. Let's say that we had this is if I was running TU, this is how I could do TU. Think about this. If every class had 30 kids and you had $58,000 per year each student was paying, you could have the kids meet in an office where you could lease the office, you could lease a retail space for $3,000 a month next to Elephant in the Room. You'd pay $3,000 a month to lease the space at Clay Clark's University of Tulsa. $3,000 a month. Then I could pick up, think about this, I could pick up every student in a limo every morning, and I could serve them Outback Steakhouse and give them gym memberships to Lifetime Fitness and personal trainers, because that means we'd have a budget of $1.74 million a year. If I charged you $58,000 a year to go to college, and there's 30 of you, I have a budget of $1.74 million. So you would be staying in the penthouse of the Mayo Hotel.
Right.
And you would be eating lobster for lunch. A limo would pick you up, and then I could pay the teacher $800,000 a year. You tell me if the school system isn't jacked up. You tell me if that's not jacked up. If you had a budget, an operating budget of $1.74 million. You have an operating budget of $1.74 million to be equally split amongst 30 kids.
30.
So I want to make sure you get this. That means the kids could be picked up from the Mayo Hotel. They would all be staying in the penthouse dormitories. They'd be picked up by a limo. Think about this. Think about this math. They get picked up from a limo. Then we only eat organic, fair trade, lobster. Everything is healthy. Then we have a personal trainer that works out with them, each individually every day. And then the teacher can make $1 million a year. We pay the teacher a fair salary. Now, but if you want to go walk to Oklahoma City, I mean, I don't get that. I'd just stop. I'd just be like, well, I'd probably just buy an OxyFresh franchise. And you're like, but I can't afford it. Actually, you can get a small business loan. Or you're like, I can't afford it. I'd probably be a tip-top dog trainer. I can't afford it. I'd probably buy a phone doctor's franchise. You know, you can make over $75,000 to $100,000 a year having a phone repair business. I work with Phone Doctors. We have 11 locations now to serve. If you want to buy a franchise, inquire now at phonedoctors.com. You want to get a tip-top canine. I mean, literally, I have just given you 3 ways where you could make over $100,000 a year, and we just have begun this conversation. I could keep this conversation going all day. So again, I don't understand the idea of saying I don't make enough money and then not doing anything with it. I mean, this is the day that the Lord has made. Every day is a gift, and that's the way I choose to live. So why aren't we doing this? So you have to learn how to manage your finances. You got to learn how to read your financial dashboard, and that requires time, which means you got to turn off the TV show about that person who became rich so that you can become a person who became rich and they can make a show about you. Ooh. Instead of watching shows about other people,
watch a show about yourself.
Watch a show about yourself. Why don't you do something remarkable, so remarkable, in fact, that people do want to make a show about you? Think about that. That is powerful. That right there is a powerful thought. Are you going to live a life so profound that people talk about it? Or are you going to just watch other lives happen around you on The Voice? I mean, do you really want to invest half of your brain to wondering what Miley Cyrus is up to? I mean, or do you want to actually do something profound with your life? And everybody has a gift. Everybody has a skill, because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we should rejoice and be glad in it. I know that you are a child of God. God created you for a purpose. When we come back, we're going to teach you the specifically 8 game-changing accounting moves that everybody out there can use. But do not escape the profundity of this message. This is the day that the Lord has made. You are a gift from God. You got to seize the day, my man, because you don't know how many days you have left. Stay tuned.
Want to attend the legendary Thrive Time Show Business Workshop for free? Subscribe on iTunes, leave an objective review, and send us confirmation at info@thrivetimeshow.com to claim your tickets. Want to live in a van down by the river? Come by and see us at our Riverwalk offices, and we'll be able to make your dreams come true.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your Rick Radio. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year. I'm here with Eric Chupp, the renowned business coach. Chupp, what are we talking about?
We are talking about the 8 super moves to get your accounting under order.
Okay, what's the next super move?
Next super move is you've got to learn how to read your financial dashboard.
This is big, and I'll tell you why it's big. It's because nobody knows how. So, Chup, I'm going to put on the show notes the things that you need to know every week. That way everybody feels good about it, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's not make it overwhelming. Let's just be very specific, okay? Everybody listening, this is what you have to do. Please write these down or find them on the show notes. 1, you have to know how much money is coming in. Income. Don't do this accrual counting. Accrual counting is the most stupid idea in the whole world. It makes zero sense. Accrual accounting for small business, or almost any business. I'd say any business is just jacked. Stupid. It's cooking the books. It's fraud. It's jackassery. It's dumbness. It's an accounting method where it records income that should be coming in
Right.
before it comes in. That's just
It's almost income.
yeah. So I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you know how much money. Let's change it and say step 1: know how much money came in. Like not what could have come in, but what it actually did come in. All right. Second, know how much money went out. God, this guy's deep. This guy's like he's like the Jacques Cousteau of like I'm the Jacques Cousteau of the radio. I talk about how to go down to the deep ocean bottom to find the deep accounting methods. It's kind of like an Arnold Schwarzenegger mixed with the French thing there. Would you like a croissant? Would you like a croissant? We got to go down to the deep to find it. I don't know how to do it. But the point is, it's like I am not trying to go super deep. I'm trying to help you.
Right.
Running a business is not that complicated.
And these are the things that you literally have to do. And it's not that hard. It's just making the time to do it.
3, you got to know your weekly budget. So step 3, know your weekly budget. Know your weekly budget. I know your weekly budget. Woo-hoo. Know your weekly budget. Ow! Now, the reason why you got to know your weekly budget, and the reason why I'm singing all the time is because if Eric Chupp does not bring his band to the conference and perform, these guys who jam together every week, I am going to start my own band, and we will practice one time, and we'll call ourselves Wicked Awesome, because we are going to be wicked awesome, and then we will unite, and we as we're going to call ourselves the Crappy Beatles, and we will be crappy, but we will be there.
That's all about expectations.
That's right. We're going to show up, which is what entrepreneurship is. Is it showing up before you're ready? Okay. So anyway, so you have to know how much money came in, Marshall. Then you have to know how much money went out, Marshall. Then you have to know your weekly budget, right? Step 4. You have to fight to stick in the budget every week. You have to fight to stick in the budget every week, because every week there's always somebody trying to budget, move it. Like someone's trying to budget your budget. They're
I see what you're
trying to make you move. They're trying to budge. See if you'll budge. Can I get him to budge it a little bit? Because I always want to budge it. I know you got to budge it, but I just want to see if you'll budge it. See if you'll move it. I know you have a set amount of money in your fancy pro forma, but I am a dog-faced pillow at Mathis Brothers. God, and I'll tell you this is my personal struggle. I go into Mathis Brothers. If I go into Mathis Brothers, this is how it happens. I go in there and I'm like, what's up? And right away, Carl sees me coming. I see him coming. Carl and I meet. It's like, this magic moment, so different and so true, was not like any other. When I saw Carl too, and then it happened. My dog-faced pillows on my mind. I had to buy one. I didn't care if it costed 5,000 dimes, and now it's mine. And I want to buy another one. And my wife's like, stop it. I want to buy another one. And they go, we can make it happen. And I go, Carl, just give it to me. And we make eye contact again. He goes, do you want a third? And then it's mine. And I start thinking, gosh, and you know what goes great with a dog-faced pillow? An elephant lamp. Because elephant in the room, an elephant lamp
in the room.
I'm thinking now, if I get the dog face pillow, you can't have 3 of those dog face pillows. You got to get a lamp. And then I'm going, if I get a dog face pillow, 3 of them, and I get a lamp with an elephant theme to it, the tiger print chair would be sick in the man cave.
Or some kind of leopard.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yes.
Something.
And all of a sudden, this is how it happens. So my wife will say, hey, listen here, buddy.
Don't you budge that budget.
We have a budget. You're going to stick within that budget. I go, but baby, we could pull it from savings. This is why I work so hard, is to accumulate all the dog face pillows. And all of a sudden I get emotionally attached to what I can't have. And I'm like, you don't withhold that from me. You don't withhold that from me. Listen here, baby. And it's because we're married and I love my wife. What I want to do is I never want to raise my voice.
You go down low.
So I try to like, baby, come on, baby. remember that time that remember that time?
Remember that giant Easter egg?
Baby, you remember that giant Easter egg, baby? Baby, do you remember we were in college and I took you out to dinner that one time at Friday? She goes, you use gift certificates. Baby.
That's just as good as cash, baby.
I tipped with my own money, baby. Baby, remember when I had 3 jobs working all the time? And I remember that ring? Baby, look at that ring on your finger.
Look at that ring.
And she's like, okay, I see the ring on my finger. I'm like, baby, look how big it is. Do you realize how big it is? That ring is so big. Listen, that ring is worth more than our condo. The first condo and the second. It's worth more than the down payments on our first house. Baby, we could, if we sold your ring, we could turn it into a house. Listen, I have to have that dog face pillow.
For the 3rd time.
And she says to me, you can have one. And I said, by one, you mean one grouping? No, you can have one dog face pillow.
1 dozen?
And so at the conference, you'll see I have one dog face pillow. But I'll tell you this, I'll get my hands on another one because the budget next month makes it possible.
You hear that, dog face pillows? Play's coming for you.
But this is what happens this is how you budget.
Right.
But so many other people make it more complicated than that.
When it comes down to a lot of things that apparently business, you got to say no to yourself. You got to say no to other people with your time. You got to say no to yourself when it comes to going outside your budget.
That's the fabulous 4 I want to give you today. I just want to give you these 4. You got to know how much money came in. You got to know how much money went out. God, this guy is so deep, man.
It's true.
Like Brostradamus, bruh. It's like, bro, this guy, he's like a metaphysical, like, his depth, bro. It's crazy. He's like, not the epidermis, bro.
Hey.
He's going into, like, dude, he's going into, like, the barrel, bro, of the wave, bro.
Your money's like the tide. What comes in, what goes out. The tide.
The tide. Chup, I love what you did right there.
Yeah, you said waves.
Chup, speaking of waves,
Yes.
when people come to our conference, I want our bathrooms to be so clean that when you hit the urinal button, you hit the little urinal, you pull the urinal lever. I want that thing when the wave of water comes down. I want it to be sensationally clean. I want our urinals to be so clean that I could use them as a drinking fountain if I wanted to, because there's a big line sometimes at our workshop for water.
Right.
So if there's a big line, I don't want to mess around with that.
We got time for that.
I want to get it on all 4s, and I want to sip from the urinal, and I want to get the sweet, pure water. That
Well, you're in luck.
And thank you.
Urine.
And why,
See what I did there?
and why are our bathrooms so clean? Who do we use for our janitorial services?
Classic Janitorial Services, guys. Check them out at theclassicclean.com. If you call in a new customer right now, they're actually going to include every month a free floor cleaning in your high traffic areas. They're either going to buff the tile or clean the carpet.
Their phone number is 918-671-2046. That's theclassicclean.com. Tell them Clay Clark sent you. They are the best.